Hey Leo, welcome to your love and romance reading for January 2022. Can you believe it? January 2022. This is going to be for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I know a lot of people like to check out their Venus sign when it comes to love and romance. So when I'm doing love readings, I always include the Venus energy as well. I am setting the intention for January 2022. However, you're going to stumble upon this video whenever it's time for you to hear the messages. So rest assured that you found it when you were meant to find it. This is a general reading for the Leo collective. Not every single message is going to resonate. So take the ones that resonate, leave the ones that don't. So without further ado, my lovely Leos, let's see what's coming up for Leo's Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I feel like we need one more good shuffle here. Alrighty, my dears, let's get on into it. Alright, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Now, it's really interesting because I know you're a fire sign. I know you guys aren't a water sign. But as I'm like getting ready to go into the Leo collective energy, I'm feeling this beautiful waterfall. Like, I feel like I'm in this tropical place and there's this beautiful waterfall just like cascading down, and I can like feel the mist of the waterfall, and I can feel the mist on my skin, and I can just smell it, and it just feels so refreshing and beautiful. So I feel like this is symbolic. I don't know, maybe some of you are manifesting like a romantic getaway or a tropical getaway or something like that, but I feel this might be more symbolic of like this refreshing energy, or like this refreshing feeling, or like feeling alive again. It's very interesting. I'm curious to see what the cards have to say, but that was a really interesting feeling and vibe that I'm getting. So let's see how the reading plays out, or how the cards play out, I should say. The first card that's coming up here for Leo is the Five of Wands. So maybe right now there's struggles for some of you. And Spirit is saying, don't worry, like you're going to have that refreshed, free, cleansing energy, right? Maybe some of you need to shake off a bad experience. Now, Five of Wands can indicate a lot of different things. It can be an internal conflict or internal struggle where we're not sure how we feel about a person or a relationship. It could indicate a partner who maybe is a little too competitive with us. It can indicate a situation where you have a lot of choices, you have a lot of options, or it could be someone that's making you feel as though you have to really kind of fight for a place in their life, or you have to battle for like a sliver of their energy or their time or their attention. You might feel like this person's treating you like an option, right? These are all things that can be indicated when the Five of Wands comes up in a relationship. If I'm going to be honest with you, Leo, I hate to say this, and keep in mind this is a general reading. It's not going to be for every single one of you, but I feel unfortunately some of you have a cycle or pattern in your relationships where there is competitiveness, where there is jealousy. You know, maybe this person feels a little bit insecure when you start to shine. This person feels a little bit insecure when people are paying attention to you. So there can be a situation here for some of you where like there's a lot of push and pull in a relationship. I feel that a lot of you feel as though you're constantly having to prove yourself or prove your love in a relationship. Some of you in an existing relationship, you might feel like you're always jumping through hoops to prove yourself to this person, either because they've just been really hurt in the past and they're putting all of that pressure on you. It's like, okay, Leo, everyone I've known in my life has screwed me over for the past 20 years. So now it's up to you. It's up to you to right every wrong I've ever experienced in my lifetime for the past 20 years, right? Well, gosh, hello, that's a tall order. How in the world can you do that? And so some of you are feeling like it's this impossible thing that's been put on your shoulders. Maybe some of you are like, well, you know what? I maybe made some mistakes, or maybe when the relationship was new, maybe I was, playing around a little bit, but you might feel like this person is really not letting you live that down. Like you're like, well, I've proved myself. I've been, proving myself time and time again, but I can't seem to live this down. Please forgive the snoring in the back. I rescued a very large dog, a horse of a dog, from the shelter recently, and he's glued to me. So you might hear snoring, you might hear running around, you might hear chomping and chewing and destroying his toys, whatever it is that he does. I apologize for the background noise, but it is what it is. Okay, he's pretty glued to me. But so some of you are dealing with this situation or with this struggle. Now, gosh, I'm feeling like this energy is becoming more, this Five of Swords is becoming more like you feeling like you have to defend yourself or defend your right to do the things that you're wanting to do. Maybe, it's just for those of you in an existing relationship, there could be a challenge here with like autonomy, independence. You might be dealing with somebody who's a little bit codependent, and you might be trying to break out of that, but still kind of preserve the relationship. Those of you who are single, I feel like you're wanting a relationship, but you're conflicted about it because you're also wanting your freedom. And you're trying to decide, do I want my freedom or do I want to be single? Now, don't get me wrong. When you're in a relationship, you're not going to be as free as somebody who's not in a relationship. But you don't have to give up and sacrifice your identity or your dreams or your goals for a relationship. You can have certain freedoms and you can have independence and still be in a relationship. You don't have to choose between those two things. And I feel like Spirit is trying to help you realize that you can manifest that. You might maybe need to like kind of change your view of love or change your view of relationships. You might be looking at it kind of like in this limited way, where you're like, well, I want to be in a relationship, but I also want to be able to do what I want to do. You don't have to sacrifice that. You don't have to pick between one or the other. You just have to find the right kind of relationship, the right kind of person. So I feel some of you are feeling like, you know what, like this is worth me standing up for myself. What I want, what I need, it's worth fighting for. It's worth defending my hopes, my dreams, the things that I want to invest my time and money in, right? You're realizing that it's worth me standing up for that. I'm going to go over to the next card here. And we have the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords can indicate some of you might be dealing with an air sign person. If you have an air sign placement, that aspect of you might be really doing a lot of the steering in this situation right now. Air signs are going to be Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. Now, outside of the zodiac, when we look at the King of Swords in terms of energies, right, or people or characteristics, I'm going to be honest with you. Five of Wands followed by the King of Swords does indicate two different scenarios for me. One scenario is there's some arguing in a relationship and maybe you're tired of it and you're wanting to walk away. But the King of Swords is telling me that this is something that you might need to bring a lawyer or a counselor into the situation. A King of Swords can be a counselor, like an expert who's going to advise us and give us advice through a situation. It could also be a lawyer. So some of you are leaving a relationship or getting ready to leave a relationship, but you might be having to bring in a lawyer to help you protect your assets or protect your intellectual property in leaving a marriage or a situation. Some of you don't know if you want to break up or stay together, and you're really conflicted about that, and you're going to have to seek out a counselor or an advisor who's going to be able to come in and give you guidance around, what's going to be best for you to do and how to go about it. Because you might be like, I don't know how to stay together and I don't know how to leave. I don't know what steps to take. And so there could be some advice you're getting from an expert. Okay? Now, another aspect of this, with the Five of Wands and the King of Swords, tells me that some of you Leos are taking a whole new approach at love and relationships. Leo, you guys have a reputation for loving really hard, right? When Leo loves somebody, that person is going to get some good love, right? And generosity. Leos can be very generous, right? One of your ways of expressing love is to give gifts, right? And so you guys come into love typically with this big heart, this big, beautiful heart. But the Five of Wands with the King of Swords tells me some of you are changing your approach at love and relationships. And you're like, you know what? I have to look at this logically, right? I can't look at it entirely emotionally. What's in it for me in this situation? What is the logical thing for me to do? What is the fair thing for me to do? Whereas maybe before you were thinking entirely with your heart. But the King of Swords tells me now you're bringing your head into it. You're bringing logic into it. And you're going to make your decisions based on what makes sense. You're not going to make your decisions because you feel sorry for somebody or you feel guilty about something. You're going to do the logical thing to do. The fair and balanced thing to do. So, and I think this came up for Leo not that long ago, so it could be an ongoing theme for you guys. I feel like it came up around the last lunar eclipse we had, and I believe it was Leo. Those of you that watch my videos, let me know if you recall this coming up in either your weekly forecast or any of the previous love readings. But I want to say I feel like it came up in the past that Spirit was saying that some of you Leos were stuck in this cycle or situation where people were guilting you into doing things. They were guilting you or manipulating you into doing things. And so you would do things because you felt like, well, I'm a bad person, or well, I've made mistakes in the past, or well, maybe I've been selfish, and you've been trying to prove that you're not these things. And so you've been making decisions and choices based on what somebody feels like you owe it to them, or this is what you're supposed to be doing. No, there's my little buddy. And so you're breaking out of that. You're not going to make your decisions based on guilt. You're not going to make your decisions based on being manipulated into doing something. You're going to do what makes sense. You're going to do what's fair. You're going to do what's logical. You're not going to let somebody come in and use that great, big, loving heart against you to try to steer you into the direction they want you to go in. The next card that's coming up here is Six of Swords, right? You're done with the drama. You're done with the fighting. You're done with the back and forth, right? Like, we all make mistakes. We do things. You're going to get over it, or we're done, right? Or we're not going to keep having the same issue again and again and again. I've been reassuring to you. I've let you know that I love you. I've let you know that you can trust me. I don't have the head for this anymore, right? Six of Swords is like, we don't want to fight. We don't want to argue. We don't want to deal with drama. And so it's like we're disconnecting from a situation so that we're able to think, so that we're able to figure out what we want to do and how we want to live our life and how we want to move forward. It's peaceful calmer waters. It's smoother sailing. So Leo, you don't have the head or the heart for drama. You don't have the head or the heart for fighting. Some of you, it's interesting because the Six of Swords can indicate travel, specifically travel over water, right? It's like a faraway place. So maybe some of you have been thinking about like this tropical getaway, or like a place you've always been wanting to go. Maybe some of you are thinking of like a Hawaiian vacation, or a tropical getaway or something, where you feel like, you know, you want to kind of go with a significant other or with a partner to try to kind of heal the relationship. But the fact that this person is in this boat by themselves gives me a sense or a feeling. Like, I feel like I'm in the boat by myself as I'm looking at the card. I'm not a Leo, but I feel like I'm in this boat alone, and like I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And it's taking me back to the feeling of the waterfall. So I feel like you're realizing, Leo, that you want the relationship, you want love, but you want your space. You want that freedom. It's like you're in that moment and you're listening to that waterfall. You're feeling the mist against you. You feel so alive and so soothed and so like free and cleansed. And you're wanting to feel that way all the time. So I feel like it's going to come down to you realizing your ideal relationship and the way that you need to be loved. You're having this epiphany. This is the way I need to be loved. And this is how you need to love me, or I can't be in this relationship. I'm giving you 100%. I'm giving you everything you're asking me for. But I need you to meet me where I need you to meet me. I need you to be this way to me in return. Six of Swords can also come up for me sometimes, and some of you have heard me say this in the weekly forecasts, where you're going on a trip, you're going on like a vacation, or you're going to visit somebody, and all of a sudden it turns into this impromptu, out of nowhere relocation. I've seen it happen time and time again for people I've read for over the years, that I've been reading for a long time. I've seen it happen for myself. It happened for me this year, earlier this year, and it's happened to me even before this experience, where I pull cards for myself and I'll see the Six of Swords, and I'm, gonna be taking a trip, or I've been thinking about taking a trip, and then I go and all of a sudden I end up moving or relocating. So some of you might be taking a trip to get away from some drama, or to clear your head, or you might be thinking it's a temporary thing, and the next thing you know, you're moving, you're relocating, you're having this whole new life. I've seen that happen time and time again here with the Six of Swords. But overall, it's just you're done with drama. You're not going to deal with drama. You're not going to deal with anybody who's making you feel guilty. You're tired of jumping through the hoops. I just feel like you have this feeling like love shouldn't be this hard. Love shouldn't be so much work. Yes, love is work. Yes, we make sacrifices for love, but it shouldn't have to be this hard. That's the energy and the vibe that I'm feeling from you guys. The next card that's coming up here is the Six of Pentacles. And this is that reciprocal energy, right? That flow, that give and take. And some of you have been doing far too much giving, and you haven't been receiving a whole lot. And some of you have been dealing with people who maybe, again, this comes back to the manipulation, right? Some of you have had this dream and this vision of something you've been wanting to accomplish in your life. And your partner might be like, okay, all right, fine. You go back to school, or you work on your business, and I will work, and I will make sure that, the bills are being paid. I'll take on the financial responsibilities while you're building your business, or while you're going back to school. But then they might be throwing this in your face. Well, hello, like you agreed to this. Why are you throwing it in my face now? I didn't twist your arm. I didn't manipulate you into doing this for me. You said that you wanted to do this for me, but they did it for you and now they're holding it over your head. You owe me, Leo. You owe me. You owe me. You owe me. You owe me. I did this. I did that. You owe me. You owe me. You owe me. And so a lot of you are breaking out of that. And you're realizing that you deserve to receive. You shouldn't feel guilty about that. You shouldn't feel bad about that. You're not sitting there on your behind and swindling a person out of their inheritance. You're working on something. You're investing your time, your energy, your own money into improving yourself. And it's something that you're doing for yourself. But yes, once that takes off, that improves the quality of life for your partner as well. So it's not like you're doing something selfishly. But I feel like some of you keep having that help like brought up and like they're rubbing your face in it. And you're realizing, no, this isn't fair. This isn't right. I deserve this help. I deserve this support. If it was the other way around, I would do the same thing for my partner. I wouldn't be throwing it in their face 24/7. So the Six of Pentacles can come up when we're learning to receive. And we're coming into the flow of that give and take. That reciprocal energy. We're giving to one another. We're entitled to generosity. We deserve to receive generosity. And we're coming into the flow of coming in and going out. Giving and receiving. And so some of you have had a challenge in your relationships in this way. Or you've been in situations where you're doing all the giving and you're not getting anything back. But Six of Pentacles is telling us that you're coming into the flow. You're manifesting reciprocal energy. I just keep hearing flow, 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 flow. Again, love shouldn't have to be so hard. It should flow. That's where you're headed. That's what you're opening up your heart to. Next, we have the Knight of Cups. Now, Knight of Cups gets a bad rap when it comes to love and romance, right? It can be a water sign person. You might kind of have a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces who's maybe kind of catching your eye and kind of inspiring you in some way. Maybe they're kind of like a bit of a muse for you right now. You could be stepping into the Knight of Cups energy yourself. The Knight of Cups gets a bad rap as like a player. Somebody who's a player, somebody who's not serious. Don't get me wrong. It can mean that sometimes. I can't say that the Knight of Cups is never going to be a player or someone who's not serious. It can mean that, but the cards have so many layers. And it depends on the other cards. It depends on the energy around the situation. It depends on what we're asking about. The true spirit of the Knight of Cups is the pursuit of the things that make the heart smile. It's a love of life. It's a desire for adventure, to seek out adventure, to seek out beauty, to seek out inspiration, to live, to feel alive, to be in the senses. When I was connecting with your energy, like my senses, I felt like I was there, like in front of the waterfall. I was like, oh my gosh, I just want to stay here. I felt it. I could smell it. I could feel it on my skin. And, this Knight of Cups is taking me back to that feeling. I feel like you want to experience love and you want to experience life, but you want to experience it with all your senses. You want to feel it in every way there is to feel it. And for some of you, there could be here this feeling like you have this desire for adventure, maybe even for travel for some of you. And you're feeling called to experience beauty. You're feeling this inner need, like you need to do it. You need to experience life. You need to experience the world. You need to experience beauty. And you might be dealing with a partner that's maybe not secure enough to allow you to do this. And so you have to make some decisions here on what is fair, on what is balanced, on what is right. I don't know, Leo. I just feel like some of you feel like you're this bird in a cage. And it makes me very sad. I don't want you to feel like a bird in a cage. If you are single, you are finding yourself inspired to experience new experiences, to express yourself creatively, maybe even to travel. And you may be coming into a time where you're realizing there's a lot of people paying attention to you or pursuing you. And this is happening because Spirit needs you to learn to receive attention, to receive generosity without feeling obligated to do more than what you're comfortable doing. Just because somebody, does something nice for you, it doesn't mean that you have to do something you're not ready to do. Somebody might take you out to a nice, beautiful dinner. It might be very fancy, but at the end of the night, it doesn't mean you're obligated to go to bed with that person, or to do things that you don't want to do, or to, continue a relationship with them or get to know them if you're not feeling it. That's not leading somebody on. It would be leading somebody on if you were hinting, well, I really want that necklace. If I got that necklace, ooh, let me tell you what I would do for that necklace. Or, if I, had a, $200 bottle of wine, I sure would be in the mood. And then the person does those things and you don't deliver, that would be leading somebody on. But you're not, if somebody's inviting you out, you're not twisting their arm. You're not telling them, you have to take me to this place, or you have to give me this gift, or you have to spend this much money on me. And if somebody is generous or flattering you or giving you attention, it doesn't mean that you have to do things that you don't feel comfortable doing or that you're not ready for. So some of you might be coming into this time of these Knight of Cups types of people that are putting you on a pedestal, that are pursuing you, that are flattering you, because you need to learn that you deserve that. And you're not obligated to give more of what you're ready for. Some of you want to be the Knight of Cups. You want to pursue, you want to taste, you want to experience. You want to maybe aim a little bit higher in terms of the relationships you've had in the past. Because that is one thing about the Knight of Cups. He might be somebody who loves love, and he might be somebody who loves that new romance feeling, but the Knight of Cups is not going to go for low-hanging fruit. The Knight of Cups is going to go for that prize, that person who's on the pedestal. So some of you maybe are like getting that hunter instinct a little bit here and stepping into that energy. Maybe your relationships in the past have been people who have really pursued you and have been really persistent about wanting to be with you, but you're feeling the desire like, well, I want to go out and I want to get the girl, or I want to go out and I want to get the guy. I want to choose the person. I want to, pull that person in. I don't want it to be somebody that has been chasing after me or has been really persistent. And some of you can be breaking out of that energy as well. I just feel a sense of romance here, Leo. Like just romance, adventure, freedom, very sensual love. you know, smells and tastes and textures and physical feeling and, you know, sound. And I just feel like you need to feel love with every part of you. You need to experience love with every part of you. You're feeling very alive, and you're needing somebody who's open to that and who trusts you enough to let you experience the world. And I feel like this is the kind of love you're manifesting. You may want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign, your Venus sign. Some months that might resonate for you more than your sun sign. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can definitely schedule a private reading with me there. The 2022 12-month forecasts are linked in the description. Be sure to check those out as well. I thank you all for watching, my dears. Take care.